Hi guys! So today for afternoon group, we are gonna make our very own paper. Look at, I drew a little picture of a flower and a bee on my very own paper that I made. Isn't that so cool? So this week, we're gonna be celebrating Earth Week. And something really important about Earth Week that we talk about is how we can take care of our planet. And a lot of that involves being careful about the trash that we make, about the waste that we make, and trying to reuse things and recycle. Um, so a lot of the things that we throw away are paper. We get a lot of paper. We get like weird junky mail, like ads and things. And we also, like, when we make art, sometimes we have pieces of paper left over that we aren't gonna use. Maybe your mommies and daddies still read newspapers, and we gotta do something with the newspaper, right? Um, so I'm gonna show you what you can do with that paper that you're not gonna use anymore. First, you need to get paper. You can use any paper. Did you know that the egg cartons, that's paper. You could use that. You can use old construction paper, like I said. You can use mail. The only thing you can't use is shiny paper. You see that? I have some wrapping paper. That's kind of shiny. There's something on it. We can't use that paper for this, but any other paper we can use. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna rip it. This is my favorite part, ripping paper. It feels so good to rip the paper. And we can also rip this newsprint paper. Rip, rip, rip. It feels good to rip. It's therapeutic. It's good for our finger muscles. Rip the paper. Okay. And then once you have it all ripped up, we're gonna put it in a bowl container and we're gonna fill it up with water. Okay. I would leave it for your mommies and daddies. I would leave it for about an hour, depending on how thick your paper is. Like if you go the egg carton route, you might want to leave it longer. If you just use newspaper, it doesn't really need to soak that long. If you use construction paper, maybe you want to leave it for a little while, but you want to let it soak. And then we're going to dump it into a blender and we're going to blend it up. Biz, 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 biz. I did that ahead of time because I thought that's going to be too loud for our video. So here I have my pulp. It's newspaper paper and construction paper, and it's all blended up. You can blend it however you want it. I left it a little chunky so we could still see the blue and the orange paper that I used. You can make it super smooth. It's up to you. It's your paper. At this point, you could even add glitter to it. I saw some people add seeds, and then you can plant your seed paper. I didn't do that this time, guys. I'm just gonna make regular paper. So now we're gonna need to get a container, and I'm gonna use a towel. Usually, when you make paper, you need a screen, but I'm gonna assume you don't have a screen at home because I sure don't. So we're gonna take our towel and we're gonna drape it over our bowl like this, okay? And then very carefully, we're gonna take our mixture and we're gonna pour it into our bowl, into the towel in our bowl, okay? Ready? Gross. Okay, now that we got it all in our bowl, I'm gonna gather the edges, the corners, and I'm gonna lift it out a little bit. And we're gonna let some of that water come out. All that water, guys. All right. We're gonna reuse this water, okay? In the name of Earth Day, I'm gonna water my avocado plant with this water. All right. Now that we got most of the water out, we need a mold for our paper. I'm gonna use this lid, container lid. If you have a screen, you can just dump it right on the screen and form a square. Like I said, I'm gonna assume you don't have one, so we're gonna use this guy. We're going to squeeze a little bit of water out, not all the water. We need a little water in there so it's moldable. And then, actually, no. And then I'm going to plop it all onto my container lid. So here's what it looks like once I got most of the water out, and I'm going to plop it onto my lid. I'm going to show you in a second. Let me just get it on here. Plop, plop, plop. This is a very wet, messy project, exactly the kind that we like at WPNS. So very on brand, I think. So now we're going to take our lid and we're going to mush our paper. This is such a fun part. We get to mush it. It's a really fun sensory activity to squish, squish, squish. And if you use warm water, it feels really nice too. So we're just gonna mush, mush, mush our yummy pulp all over until we get a nice uniform layer. If we get it too thin, it might not hold together, but if we make it too thick, it's gonna take forever to dry. So we gotta find a happy balance. So we're just gonna mush, mush, mush. And you see, I made mine in the shape of a rectangle. Now's a good time if you have cookie cutters or Play-Doh shapers. You can make heart shapes, you can make square shapes, you can make name tags, you can make all kinds of shapes for your paper. Maybe you want to make paper to send a letter. Maybe you want to make paper to make a cool bookmark. Maybe you want to make paper to make a card. I think someone important. I think our teacher Jamie's birthday is coming soon. Maybe you want to make her a card. Okay. So now we have it like that. And then we're going to need our towel again. Okay. And we're going to press it onto our board here, and we're going to flatten it out with our hands. We're going to try to squeeze as much water out as we can. The more water we squeeze out, the faster it's going to dry. Let me tell you, this is going to take a little while to dry. Okay, fair warning. Okay. I think I squeezed out as much water as I can. So there's no more water dripping out. And there's my sheet. So now we're going to want to have another towel ready, a dry towel this time. And I'm going to lay it out somewhere flat. And I'm going to use this butter knife, and I'm going to use it to scrape very carefully my paper off of my mold, because I don't want it to dry here. It might stay on there forever. Something you can do is you can put something between the plastic lid and the paper. You can, if you have maybe a reusable shopping bag that's made of plastic, that would work. If you have plastic wrap, that would work. But since we're honoring Earth Day, we want to avoid single-use plastics, right? So I'll see if I can get my paper off in one piece. Oh, I got a tear. But we're going to try to flip it onto, there we go. Flip it over. Coming off. I made mine pretty big, so maybe you want to start smaller. But look, it's coming off. All right. So mine split in two. That's okay. Now I have two pieces of paper instead of one. I'm going to put it onto my towel. And I'm going to let it dry on my towel. So that's going to take a couple of days, depending on how big it is. But then when you're done, you have something really cool to draw on. Like I said, you can make a card, you can just have a cool piece of paper sitting around in your house too. Totally up to you. But here's my paper. We're gonna let him dry, and then we're gonna have something really cool, and we get to tell everyone about the cool paper that we made out about our cool recycled paper project. All right. That was really fun to do with you guys. If you try it out, let us know. Put it on our Facebook group so we can all see it. And you guys have a really good day. Miss all of you so much. I'll see you all later. Bye.